Take flight with Audio Airstrike.
All right, so now I want to get into Spider-Man Far From Home trailer. So you've seen it, right?
Yes, actually all three.
Okay. You've seen it. So let me ask you this. With what's going on now and with everything that has happened in Endgame, and the fact that Iron Man is, at this point, if you don't know, spoiler alert, go see Endgame now and then come back to this episode.
Yeah, don't listen to the rest of this.
You know it's a big deal if I got to take 2 podcast episodes to say spoiler alert.
Yes,
yeah,
exactly.
It's crazy. So, spoiler alert. Iron Man has passed away. Tony Stark is gone. And now Peter Parker is mentorless, or so we think.
Exactly.
What were your thoughts on the trailer?
Well, I mean, so thinking about it, we actually, because especially due to the shift that's happened in the world of the Avengers and Marvel Universe in general, Spider-Man, he is the neighborhood Spider-Man. That's what he's always known to be, because they wanted him part of the Avengers to do more things, and he was just going to be in the neighborhood. But now, since Tony is gone, he's called to arms now, and it's like, do you want to carry on his legacy or not? But the trailer, the one thing I'm wondering, because they're introducing a lot of characters. We got Mary Jane. She's coming into play here. Mary Jane she's finally coming into character, and we're like we've gone through, you know, all like the Tobey Maguire movies to Andrew Garfield all the way through, and it's like the first one that we had with Homecoming. And it's like, is this one going to be a little bit too much? Are they going to keep the tastefulness that they had from the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man that we know and what got us to him of the teenage spirit?
I think what we're going to see is possibly a passing of the torch in terms of knowledge, in terms of insight. And I think we're going to have a coming of age story where you gradually see him grow up. So especially from Far From Home, you got to think about it. We are used to New York, friendly neighborhood, Spider-Man. That's what we're used to. So when you have that mixed with, I can splice it, no problem. So when you have that mixed with the revelation that he was in a big war, he was in space, he almost got snapped away. Not almost, he did.
He did.
And when you have that going on, when you have that happening, it is a coming of age story. Oh, yeah. The days of him being a teenager in New York City are kind of kaput at this point. Definitely. You've been exposed to so much. S.H.I.E.L.D. is wherever you are. There are people that notice you. The snap affected everybody. That made everybody grow up. That made everybody put their big boy pants on. This is not a game. Yeah. This is not your doppelganger that you're facing in some other Marvel movie. This is what y'all went through, cost y'all. So now, with what's going on in terms of trailer-wise, now you have a situation where this is him graduating from being a wannabe superhero to now you're a full-fledged superhero and an Avenger now.
With the responsibilities that come with.
Exactly. And now you have to be privy to the new multiverse that's being introduced. Exactly. So the days of you having a normal life are pretty much over at this point. It's non-existent. No. So it's going to be interesting to see how they market him. It's going to be interesting to see what they do with him, because I'll say this for the record. Tom Holland is the best Spider-Man I've seen.
Definitely.
Tobey Maguire was great at being Peter Parker. Andrew Garfield was great at being Spider-Man. Tom Holland is good at both.
That's actually very well put. I actually haven't heard it done that way, but that's exactly right.
Yeah, he's good at both. He's good at both. And I saw that image where it was kind of displaying that, like, you know, I just kind of look at the tail of the tape. I mean, I grew up watching the mantle go from Tobey Maguire to Andrew Garfield to Tom Holland. He's better than both of them in that role because he can do both of those roles well. You see the timidness in Peter Parker. You see the confidence when he puts on the Spider-Man suit, and you see it, but he remains humble and likable.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, by the time you get to the second, third film and Tobey Maguire put on the spider suit, there were moments he had there where he wasn't really as likable as Tom Holland was in the suit. I'm just keeping it a buck. However, it's one of those situations where this is a coming of age story for him. He's one of the most likable characters in the MCU. It's going to be great to see where he takes this.
Absolutely. I completely agree with what you said there.
Oh, my bad. I didn't mean to interrupt you. Now, what do you think about Mysterio in terms of Jake Gyllenhaal, based on the little bit more of what you've seen? Are you against it? Are you for it? Are you?
I mean, personally, I don't really know much about Mysterio. However, it is interesting with a character like this for Jake Gyllenhaal to be the one to play it. I mean, we haven't seen much of him in a while, and back in this area, that's kind of cool. I'm actually kind of excited to see him in this eye again. So
Yeah. I think it's going to be very interesting to see how serious he gets. I don't think it's going to be from what I've seen from the trailer, it looks like he's going to be the seriousness and reaction to what Peter does from a comedic standpoint. So it's going to be really interesting. I think he's going to keep a serious tone throughout the story. And I think he is going to be one of those guys that be like, look, sometimes, he even alluded to it in the trailer. He said sometimes being a hero, and when you're trying to save something, when you're trying to do something positive, something comes at a cost. He says that. So his villainous quality is hinted at even in the trailer.
Absolutely. And it's interesting also, I'm wondering, especially because, like you said at the beginning, Spider-Man is now without a mentor for Tony Stark. Now, we could have this pose at the beginning for that, and then that could all take a shift. We don't know. So
yeah, we're not gonna we're not gonna know till July 2nd.
Yeah, but it's coming soon. So
coming very soon. You blink your eyes, it'll be here. So we definitely looking out for that trailer indeed.